It is 6:30. Before we call the meeting to order, I would like to take a moment, we would like to take a moment of silence to honor Sarah Campbell, a carpenter teacher who passed away this week. Thank you. It is officially 6:30, so we'll call the meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I please have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Birgit. Is there support? Support. Thank you for all the support. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And with that, I will turn it over to Adam for some new certified staff introductions.
Thank you very much, Misty. Great timing. We have 3 staff members that are being brought before you this evening for recommendation to hire. 2 of them were not able to make it tonight. Misty was able to make it tonight, so we'll go through a quick introduction of the 2 that aren't here, and then we'll get Misty. So Amy Ducharme is being recommended as a 5th grade teacher at Carpenter. She earned her bachelor's degree from OU, master's degree from Shenandoah University, and is a proud parent of 3 current dragons. She's coming to us after previous elementary teaching experience in Virginia, and most recently as our 2nd and 3rd grade LSS staff last year at Carpenter Elementary. Alexis King is being brought before you tonight as a 1st grade teacher at Blanche Sims. She earned her bachelor's degree from Oakland University and is a proud Dragon alumni. She is coming to us after completing her student teaching and a long-term sub position at Weber Elementary. And we also have Misty Neal, who is being brought before you as a 1st grade teacher at Blanche Sims as well. Misty earned her bachelor's degree from Arizona State University and is coming to us after previous teaching experience in Arizona, and she has served many long-term positions and was the building sub, I believe, as well at Paint Creek Elementary. She's subbed throughout the district, and so we're very happy to be bringing her on board as a 1st grade teacher at Blanche Sims. Welcome, Misty.
Yay.
Misty was the PTA president when I was the board buddy.
She was, yes, she was.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being here this evening, and congrats. We're so happy to have you. Oh, awesome. Oh, no worries at all. Well, it's very true. That's very true. Well, welcome, and we can't wait to have you in the district. So, thank you.
Misty, at this time too, you are welcome to stay
Yes.
for the entire board meeting, but there is no need to. You are able to go home and recharge. It's been a long week, and I know you've been on since early this morning with PD and then meet and greet. So you are welcome to leave at this time unless you would like to stay. So, but
Thank you so much. Thank you.
thank you, Misty.
Okay, with that, I will turn it over to Mark for learning highlights and communications update. Or, okay, we'll take a moment. Woo! It's okay. Yay! Yay! Okay.
Thank you very much, Danielle. As we go forward, I just wanted to share what we've been communicating, a lot of different things throughout the community as all of the schools come back, and each of the schools is reaching out in different ways. So, and we'll do a full district communication at the end of this week with some back-to-school information, and so the community and everyone will be prepared, to see all of those things. But behind the scenes, we've been doing a lot of work in terms of communications with Heidi and Julie and I to try to get everything, everyone prepared for what they need with our administrators and teachers and everything. So it's been, you're changing it. That's right.
Sorry.
No, that's good. So this week is the week of walkthroughs and middle school walkthroughs Walden and Scripps and Oakview were yesterday. There was a lot of lockers exchanged. There was trying to figure those out, trying to find, different procedures. A lot of the specialist teachers were filling different roles in terms of sharing bond information and different items to sign-ups and everything. So it really was, they tried to spread it out so the different grades were coming at different times so that it wasn't overwhelmed, and it seemed like there was a steady flow through the schools. This past weekend at Dragon on the Lake, we had quite a representation. Our Team 302 was there as every year, and they had a little booth, with the robotics and shooting off T-shirts into the children's park and everything. But we also had our administrators there working throughout the whole weekend and sharing information factual information about the bond that's coming in November 4th. And it really was an opportunity for a lot of engagement. Everyone here was there at different times, and there was a lot of interaction. And I think that was something that I think everyone here can attest that was valuable use of our time to try to connect with all of the community members. And there was some interesting questions, and it gave us a good read on kind of how the community is feeling and the things they want to know more about. Just in terms of the bond and communication aspects, I'm sure Heidi will talk about her part of it, but we're working, Julie and Heidi and I are working behind the scenes quite a bit with more information coming out, videos we're working on, messaging, different things like that. And we took even some feedback from a previous meeting that we've had with the community, and some of that's already in place into some of the practices that we're doing. So yesterday was the Welcome Back celebration. Many of you were there. It was great. There was a lot of time put in behind the scenes to make it work by all the cabinet and Julie, and it was really, I think, an impactful day for everyone. There was Sarah being introduced as the special ed director, and her presentation really resonated with a lot of the staff that we've all connected with over the last day and a half since then. So that was really impressive, and it was a great connection point. And obviously, Heidi's speech and all the updates from everyone really were things that connected with all of the staff in different ways, and they learned things. I mean, you could hear, especially in some of the times for those of you who were there, when the bond was shared, Heidi shared bond information, there was a lot of murmuring and talking to each other and kind of processing, and I think that is valuable in terms of communication opportunity for all of us to reach out to them. New teacher orientation, Lisa Berry did a great job planning that with Adam, and you can see the group there, and everyone presented over one whole day at our office, and Danielle was there. You can see here she gave a little speech at the beginning, and then they all gained a lot from that. And then yesterday, for those of you saw them walk out, as new hires and be celebrated by our staff for joining our Dragon family here. The WEB is the Where Everybody Belongs leadership program, and that's at Oakview Middle School. It continues there, and what they do is the 8th grade leadership team, which is the WEB team, they do things throughout the year, but one of the biggest things they do is help all of the 6th graders come in and get used to being in the school. So they came a couple weeks ago and had a little leadership meeting with Sarah Weingartz, who leads the program. And then last week, before anything else, this was the week of the walkthrough days, but they had all the 6th graders in. They made a big celebration. They took them around. They did lockers. They did all different things in the building, and it was a really great connection point. I was there especially at the end when Sarah Weingartz was, imparting some wisdom about trying to help each other and support each other and everything. And the kids were really locked in even after having been there for a couple hours. So it was really impressive. And Jeff, you've probably seen that before, the WEB program and kind of what that has meant at Oakview, and it's really helped, I think, the culture there over the last couple of years. LHOS had their walkthrough over, it was last week. Everyone, each of the classes came in one day, and then Monday they had a makeup day. It's an opportunity they do a lot of things with the schedules. They do parking, they do all different sign-up things, and there's some clubs there, and they get a lot of students who are there to support it as well. And you can see in upper left, NOCC, their youth action board was there, and there's a lot of connection points for the high school, and they can get in there at different times, and it really makes it, not as intimidating. I mean, for the 9th graders, obviously, and tomorrow will be the new Dragon Day for all the 9th graders and the other newcomers to the school. Phases welcome, you all saw it today with the tour, And it was great to see the families in there, and I think the feedback from everyone who was there, the feedback was really positive from the families and the engagement that they had with the space and what they got to see there and everything. So that was encouraging, and they'll be back on Tuesday, obviously, with all the other students. Elementary had their meet and greet this afternoon, as Misty said, over at I was over at Stadium, and I saw the interactions, and they had like a long line. The parents were ready to go when those doors opened at 3 o'clock, and they were streaming in. And the thing about the elementary that's really nice is they get to meet the teachers in an informal setting, whereas it's not just rolling in on Tuesday, and then this is someone they don't know or anything. So I think that was really a nice connection point, and it was great to see that. And I think that's it. Are there any questions?
Questions for Mark?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Okay. Next up, public participation related to action items on the agenda. We have none. So we'll move on to strategic area discussion items, governance with Heidi.
All right, well, the first is a legislative update. And the biggest thing that we have been watching is the budget, which, as you are well aware, we do not have one as of yet. We still don't have one. And so we just keep waiting. And so there really has been very little movement at this point. So I did contact our representatives, as well as sent a letter out to the community. I held off as long as I could, being hopeful, but I think at this point our families need to know where we stand. And so that was another thing, I think that, being at Dragon on the Lake, that was another thing that came up and resonated with a lot of parents. They really didn't, realize that we did not have a budget and how that impacts us. So superintendents continue to push, making sure that our, representatives are aware of the impact. But we're in unique ground. I mean, this has never happened before. So we are remaining hopeful, but it is extremely concerning. So if you have not already, we do ask that you reach out to your representatives. So I know that Birgit has some information as well to share.
Yeah, I just wanted to make everybody aware that there's been redistricting going on in our state, and I know I received my voter ID, and we have a change in our state senator. And I want to make you aware of that because its change is effective in January, and we currently have Senator Ruth Johnson, and it's going to change to Jim Runstad, who is termed out next year and can't run again for his seat. So when there's an election in '26, that's going to be a big change for all of us all around. But I just want to kind of put it on your radar that that's coming, because in reality, it's really not January. It's not that far away. And that's a big change for us. So just wanted to make everyone aware.
Okay. And then a couple updates. I'll be giving updates now regarding the 2018 bond, as you'll see on the agenda, and then I will also give updates regarding our bond proposal. So one of the things I've been working to make sure that everybody is aware of is that we still have work that we are finishing within the 2018 bond. This bond work is not over, so we really have been trying to highlight that. The projects that we have going on currently, the Lake Orion High School Auxiliary Gym, that is underway right now, that is expected to be finished later in the fall. It will not be open next week, later in the fall. Again, the parking around that area will be complete. I have seen that. It is awesome. We need more parking, as we all know, so that has been a great addition. As well, Paint Creek, they are wrapping up. I was over there yesterday. Again, finishing up renovation to their cafeteria, their new STEM space, and then we did have to add a classroom because one of the current classrooms became the STEM space. So that is looking excellent over there. We also did all new flooring in the classroom, so no longer any carpet. It's LVT, which is great, much easier to clean, and it was crazy how much pulling the carpet out and putting down the LVT, the classrooms look so much bigger. So that work has, will be finished by the start of school. There's a couple more things to do, but it will be ready by next week. And then the administration building, we are continuing to, that started July 7th. We are retrofitting that, and we are hoping to move sometime in December. So again, all of that is still part of the 2018 work. In addition to that, we are already prepping for next spring, which is still also part of the 2018 bond and was planned in that 2018 bond. The Lake Orion High School will be receiving new team rooms, and that will be, those finalized plans will be coming to the board sometime in October. We had a meeting today, so one of the meetings in October will share those plans. CERC, you will see that the gym demolition will take place next spring. Again, that CERC work is in a couple phases. The first phase will be the demo of the auxiliary gym, as well as the road work. There is road work that will be going on between CERC and Scripps that will finalize that area there. And then Moose Tree, working on some facility updates. Again, all of these to occur in the spring of 2026. Here you'll see, this is just some more information regarding the work that will be done again in the spring. You see Scripps and CERC, so that is the existing conditions now. What will happen is you see where the dotted boxes, that is the auxiliary gym, which will be the first part of the demolition of CERC, again in spring of 2026. And then you'll see the next slide there is the proposed site plan. So again, that road in between Scripps and CERC will be finished. So it's, right now it's kind of wonky as to how it goes up to Scripps. So you see there that it will be, that will be corrected. That was just something that was in the meantime of us completing these projects. So that will also be done by the start of next school year. And then, as I said, we just finished Paint Creek. So here are a few pictures. The upper left is the cafeteria. On the right is their extended learning space that goes into the new classroom, which you'll see on the bottom left is the new classroom, and then to the bottom right is the new STEM lab. It's a beautiful, it turned out so beautiful. It's an excellent space, so we are really happy with that. And then you see the work that is being done at the high school, the auxiliary gym, how that's progressing as well, and with the additional parking. So we are looking forward to that opening, like I said, sometime later in the fall. So great progress on all of our projects, and so we're happy with all of that. I think that was it for that, right? Yep. All right.
Hang on just one sec. Is there any questions on the 2018? I think, Heather, you have something.
A quick one regarding the administration building, because am I like too loud?
I wrote it too. No, you're good.
Okay. So since we're selling the current administration building, we're still allowed to use the funds that were initially set aside for work that was going to be done to that current building to be used for where the administration building is now going to be, correct?
Yes, because
That's
in
a
the
lot.
application, the administration building was named and some work was supposed to be done. So that's the rules of the Treasury. As long as the project is in there, now we have moved buildings, so we can still use the funds for the administration building, even though it's in a different location. If it were not in the original application, the naming of the building, then we would not be able to, but it was in the original application. So that's how we're able to retrofit the new administration building, because like I said, it was in the original application. It is fine if it's in a different location, but the building had to be named in the location, in the application.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on 2018?
So right now, the parking behind the pool where the aux gym is going, is that still, just so everybody know, is that still blocked off until that's done? So the new parking that was going in basically between the park and the school, is that accessible for like when we have football games?
It will be, yes, that is the plan, is to have it accessible.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, that's a good point, Jake. The parking lot, at this point, yes, will be accessible, the gym will not. So, thank you
Because,
for
I
that.
mean, the need on the site for parking, so the parking got addressed to be ready with the
Correct.
school year but the building itself is still coming along.
Right, yes. Thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions currently? Nope.
Okay, and then with the 2025 bond proposal, Mark spoke a little bit regarding this, but we have really been working hard on finalizing all of the materials, all of the boards, all of the flyers, all of that information has been finalized. We're working right now on finalizing a video that will be pushed out as well, and so that will be done by the end of the week, and then at this point, I think we'll be done with all materials. And so it will be, pushing out the materials from this point forward. There will be a community meeting that did go out in a press release. We'll be putting this out more September 25th that anybody can come to. 7 o'clock, I believe, is what we said, at the high school. So again, more information will be coming out about that. Our bond information, it is posted on the website as well, and we will continue to push out more information regarding that and adding questions to the frequently asked questions as we learn, is there something that is being asked that maybe not on there right now? So the other thing is everything has been shared with staff at the opening day yesterday, so, talking points and information as well has been given to staff. And so now really we're at the point of just making sure that our community is well aware of what is in the bond and what it entails. So that is what our work will be from this point forward.
Question, Heather? All right.
Behind the monitor a little bit. Going back to talking about the table that you guys had at Dragon on the Lake, and so just curious, when you're talking about what types of questions the community had, can you just elaborate on some of the themes that you saw during that time, if anyone was there, and kind of what they were, was there something that was consistently asked? Just curious more about that before we kind of get into that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there was anything that stood out to me as consistent as a pattern. It was really more about information sharing, handing out the flyer, really talking about the projects. That is the piece where I think obviously, is the biggest part, right, is making sure that people understand what is included in this bond. And so at least for, I think, the, conversations that I had and conversations, that I was overhearing, that was the biggest part, is really what are the projects, what are the biggest projects within the bond, was really, I think, the biggest thing at this particular point in time. And making sure that people were aware, and there were some that were, and some that, were not, and didn't have any idea, so that was a great opportunity to share that information.
Any other, Jake?
We're done with the bond. I wanted to loop back to earlier in the legislative update. And my understanding was we were gonna get a new state senator after the 2026 election cycle. Like, we will not be represented by someone that we didn't elect starting in January. So if we could take that to like a recap next steps for a follow-up, because I wouldn't want to put information out there but that wasn't my understanding. I thought we were keeping Ruth Johnson until we have the ability to elect somebody new in 2026. So if we could just look into that to make sure, I don't know if we reach out to Ruth Johnson's office or to see when it changes.
I actually called Julie Dalrymple about that, so, but I think that would be a good thing for you guys to follow up on, just to make sure,
If you reach out
because
to.
I just shared what Julia shared.
Yeah, so if.
'Cause it got
if-
weird
If
on-
Ruth's office could confirm that, that would be great.
Got it.
Anything else?
I think the other thing that I also wanted to point out, and Mark did share this, but we did have Phases Open House today, and, you know, Cirque looks great, and I just want to say, you know, it was a true team effort with a lot of people really doing a lot of work to make sure that the building was ready, and it looks wonderful. Kids were excited, families were pleased, so it was great to see everything come together, and like I said, so many people that took part in that, so it was a special day for sure.
I think the interesting point of that is, in this bond, we are proposing, you know, a complete renovation of, or possibly building new spaces for Phases. And I think that puts some concern out there. Well, you're just shoving them in something. But we did get the chance to walk through it, and not one of us that got a chance to walk through it had any sense that, oh, we're just shoving them in. You would not know that building that space was prepared with care and with a focus on what that programming needs to be. So we should be proud of where we're housing those students. And Pine Tree was also an older building with that. So, you know, to me, this space is more than adequate, and like I say, the community will decide, you know, if bond money is available, and that's a top priority for us, was to, but this doesn't feel like a temporary space at all. It's a home for these students.
Yep.
And congratulate you for you working with the team to get that to happen.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a very important piece, to make sure that it was not something that was thrown together or a second thought. It was very purposeful.
I think the other thing is, a few of us dads were standing in that space when you were talking and we weren't supposed to be. And basically, I was thrilled at how great it was in there, especially with the new furniture and the brand new, you know, the floors and everything. And I said, I'd be proud for my kid to be here. And the three dads that were standing there, we all agreed, you know, and for us as board members and cabinet members, I think that's what we set the bar at, is what we feel good for our kids. And so, I mean, I feel 100% great about using that space, and I think it was a very good job, for sure.
Thank you.
I'll just add to that, I came earlier in the day when it was the parent and student kind of welcoming walkthrough. And it was really cool to see, because you saw the nerves of the kids when they first got there, because it's a new space to them, right? But the minute they saw a teacher, the minute they saw one of their friends, it was hugs and it was smiles. And I had a parent, you know, come up and say, "This is awesome." And I'm a firm believer, and I know this, and I know we all know this, what made Pine Tree special was never the building, it was the people, right? And what you guys did with the space to make it, you know, look the way it does, in all new furniture, and the opportunities that are gonna be there with, you know, Kristen Slawinski and the, you know, taking over as principal there, and the learning option students. I'm just excited to see it, because I really think it's gonna bring a lot more opportunities. And like I said, it was never about the building, it was the people in the building, so. And I got to see that today, so that was awesome, so thank you. Anything else? Okay, thank you, Heidi. And with that, we will move to student achievement with Drew.
All right, thank you. A few things going on this evening in our department. It's been a busy week, as you can imagine. The first thing that is in your board packet tonight, I had a chance a few weeks ago to meet with the representatives from the Orion Township Library for our annual Think Link partnership and renewal of our contract. So that is there for your approval this evening. There are no major updates. I do want to give kudos to the library. They have been a great partner, and over the past few years, we've just kind of gotten into this really good groove of I think we've both found a good space and a great partnership and open dialogue. When I met with them, they were extremely complimentary of our media specialists and our teachers. So just a really nice partnership that we have there. So excited to share that with you this evening. The other big update to share, obviously this week our teachers are back, so there's been a lot of professional development. And so this evening, it's just, for me, I kind of joke around sometimes, I get to be like the proud parent watching our staff in action this week. So from our administrators to instructional coaches and especially to our teachers, I want to acknowledge the amount of effort that goes into this week. In addition to, we throw a lot of new things at them and brush up on a lot of skills. A lot of collaboration, but then it's also, as Mark shared, it's getting ready for getting the kids back and meeting parents and spending time with kids. So just a really big thank you to our staff for that, because as we've been around buildings and in different meetings, it's been a very engaged, a lot of thoughtful conversations, and a group of educators just continuing to try and better themselves for our kids. So a lot of exciting things there. And the final thing that I wanted to share is something that I've asked to be added to our board meetings consistently from here on out under my updates. As you heard it at opening day, one of the things that is really important to us, and especially within the teaching and learning department, is that special ed and gen ed are not two separate things. We are one department together for kids. And so what I've asked is that moving ahead, that I could have on our agenda a standing update for our special ed department, because I think it's important to share the work that they're doing. The one thing I do want to mention tonight is to really give, Sarah Leggett has been amazing. And she has hit the ground running, our new special ed director, and the feedback that we have consistently gotten has been amazing, very positive. She is extremely thoughtful, really working to build relationships, but she and I have had a lot of conversations about the importance of it's a partnership together. And so that was one thing that, as I mentioned, I was hoping I could continue moving forward, just to give big highlights and updates of what our special ed department is doing in the continued collaboration. So those are the big updates that I have this evening for you.
Thank you, Drew. Any questions or comments for Drew? Nope, thank you. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. You're right next to me, and I still didn't see you.
All good. Couple things. What is the Think Link partnership? Just to kind of, for the benefit of just people who might be listening and unsure what it is.
Yep, so it's the continued partnership with the library, and it covers a number of different things. So one of the big things is at our middle schools, we partner similar to what you could consider like a GAP program, where we provide an opportunity for our students to go after school over to the library for different programming. It also covers the partnership of our librarians from the township coming into the schools and working with our staff, looking at getting our kids library cards, providing that opportunity. But really the big goal that we've continued to talk about is continuing that opportunity for kids to get into a library and see all the resources that the township library has to offer.
Okay, awesome. And then, there's something. For the special education update, can you give me an example of something that we might hear about, just to kind of get an idea of what that's going to look like?
For sure, yep, and that's a great question. It's, what I'm hoping to do is highlight what our students are doing, a lot of the different programming we have, what our staff is doing. For example, yesterday, I think to drill down a little bit more on some of the PD, yesterday, our entire special ed department came together for the afternoon, about 130, 140 staff members deep, in one large collaborative effort together. So it's highlighting some of those things, and that's in our everything from ECC, obviously, through phases. And then, obviously, special ed and special ed law is a little bit more nuanced. So as some of those, and quite honestly, it's partly for me to continue to learn, as I learned from Sarah and our special ed team, to share with you of things that, we'd like to continue to do and grow within our department and district. So those would be some of the examples.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
I'm just going to leave it on.
Yes, just leave it on. Okay, and with that, we'll move on to human resources with that.
Thank you, Danielle. I'd like to recommend the 3 certified staff members to be hired in their respective positions as previously named. Also, as Mark mentioned in his update, we held our new teacher orientation last week. Always great bringing all of our new dragons together, kind of sharing in the excitement, getting them ready for the new year. We had a range this year. We had a few that are brand new, fresh out of college, first job, their excitement, but we also had some veterans that we hired. So, you're going from single digits first year to double digits 15th year. And it's just fun to kind of see them all mesh and see them be looking at Lake Orion with a fresh set of eyes, and it's great to have them all together. So that went really well. Big shout out to Lisa Berry on that. She does a lot of work in organizing that and putting everything together. And that is all for the HR department.
Questions for Adam? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, finance and operations with Andrea.
Thank you. The only quick update I have is the audit has started for the 24-25 school year. Our auditors arrived on Monday, so that will go through this week and next week. And I believe with their schedule, we are looking at board presentation at one of the meetings in November. But we'll keep you updated along the way, obviously. So, on the agenda, we have a bid award for door access controls and video surveillance that we are asking approval for. This includes new equipment at the high school as well as the administration building. It also includes replacement of aged computers that also aged and unsupported now as technology has advanced at the high school, and replacement of a legacy video management service district-wide. On some of these projects, we approved the work back in 2020, and we've often done change orders. With this bid award, we actually had to go back out to bid because the original bid, the components changed from it because of, again, the advancements in technology. So our tech designer bid in accordance with the standards of the law and the district, advertised accordingly. There were 7 proposals as listed in your board packet, along with a recommendation to finalize and execute a contract with Interstate Security in the amount not to exceed $440,570.57, which will be paid from the 2018 bond. Any questions?
Heather?
Just a point of clarification, the video surveillance and updates to the administration building will be for the new building, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to extend my appreciation to you and your staff, and the acknowledge this is a great example of what happened over the years with bond dollars and how things changed, and technology changes more rapidly than we can imagine. And I appreciate that this had to come full circle and that it went out to bid again. And interesting that it was the same group that still won the bid out again. So,
Any other questions for Andrea? Thank you. All right. That is going to move us to our action items. May I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the following consent agenda item. Approve minutes from the August 11th, 2025 work session meeting and closed session.
Thank you, Birgit. Is there support?
Support.
Thank you, Heather. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. May I please have a motion to approve the 2025-26 Think Link Partnership Agreement?
I move to approve the Think Link Partnership Agreement between Lake Orion Community Schools and Orion Township Public Library as presented.
Thank you, Jake. Is there support?
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. May I please have a motion to approve the certified new hires?
I move to approve 3 certified new hires as presented.
Thank you, Scott. Is there support?
Support.
Thank you for all the support. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Certified new hires approved, and welcome to the new hires to the district. And lastly, may I please have a motion to authorize a door access and video surveillance bid award?
I move to authorize administration to finalize and execute the purchase and installation of video surveillance and door access controls with interstate security in an amount not to exceed $440,570.57.
Thank you, Jake. Is there support?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Once again, the motion carries. Okay, and with that, we do move to public participation for other non-action items, and we do have a participant this evening. I'll just read our quick reminders. Good evening. Welcome to Lake Orion Community Schools Board of Education meeting. This meeting is a meeting of the board for the purpose of conducting school district business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. All individuals wishing to address the board were required to sign the public participation sheet prior to the start of the meeting. When addressing the board, please state your name so we may accurately record it in the minutes, and if you're willing to do so, also share your relationship to the district. The public participation portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or school district employee which are totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. If the comments constitute a complaint, the employee must be notified in advance and has the right to request a closed meeting. All individuals' time is limited to 5 minutes. While you're at the podium, please direct all comments toward the Board of Education. If you are unable to complete your thoughts within the 5-minute time frame, you are welcome to submit your comments in writing, either by leaving a printed copy with Ms. Olko or submitting them electronically to the Board of Education email, and we will ensure they are also forwarded or given to the administration. Lastly, please note that it is the board's policy to take all comments under consideration. However, it is not our practice to respond during the meeting. The board will also refrain from correcting any inaccuracies presented in public comments. And with that, I would like to invite Noah Stevens.
Name's Noah Stevens, 3507 Pasadena, Lake Orion, Michigan. I am deeply disappointed in this board as I reached out multiple times with no responses. I did reach out to the Director of Communications, Mark Snyder, who did finally get a response to some of my questions. So thank you, Mark. First, the numbers. The bond is expected to lower the millage rate while adding $272 million of debt. We passed a bond for $160 million in 2018, 7 years ago, which isn't expected to be paid in full until 2040, 15 years from now. The new bond, if passed, adds an additional 14 years for a total of 29 years from now. I also reviewed the meetings when the 2018 bond was proposed that stated you really need $250 million, but we're only asking $160 million. Now you say you really need $300+ million, but you're only asking $272 million. What I am hearing is that in less than 10 years, you'll be asking for another bond. First, I thought my gut reaction was incorrect. So I looked at all Oakland County school districts and some out-of-county districts nearby, like Romeo and Lapeer. Compared them to all previous bonds passed within the last 30 years, including bonds that are proposed for November. The results, Lake Orion bonds for the last 30 years plus this proposed bond equals $564 million. This is the 4th highest out of 27 districts I reviewed. The other 3 districts that we are behind have higher enrollment and more buildings. Examples, I feel like this bond isn't centered around educating our kids. The 2018 bond built the Early Childhood Center for $18 million, completely rebuilt Blanche Sims Elementary for $26 million. This new bond will expand and renovate both buildings. Nearly $10 million for early childhood, $4 million for Blanche Sims. Schools recently built less than 5 years, but already need expansion and renovations. Doesn't seem centered around educating our kids. This board chose to add an aux gym and a teams room at the high school versus adding STEM labs because COVID increased costs and couldn't cover all projects of the original 2018 bond. I get that. But now you are advertising STEM in the high school as top priority for this new bond. Priority should have been given to teaching children first and not building gyms. Another example of not centered around educating our kids. Next, the old Lake Orion Administration Office was recently sold for $700,000. The new administration office, total bond issued was $3.5 million for purchasing and upgrades. I personally don't believe a $2.8 million upgraded building for administrators helps educate our kids. But don't worry, there's more. This bond also includes an additional $700,000 for renovating to this new administration building. Mind you, the building was just bought for $3 million and was used and owned by Orion Township. So I'm not sure if it's just painted the wrong color or if there's deferred maintenance, but we as taxpayers got swindled. Either way, doesn't seem centered around educating our kids. Then there is closing Pine Tree, which was just decided months ago because there were no funds to keep it going. But to turn around and ask for $272 million bond for other pet projects doesn't seem centered around educating our kids. By the way, how much are we making off that? Because there's no bond money to Pine Tree. So I'm assuming it's being sold. Then let's talk about the reported enrollment numbers that are down the last 15 years and are expected to continue to decline by nearly 2% over the next 5 years. Less students, but let's expand the schools. Doesn't seem centered around educating our kids. Let's see, I'm running out of time. So I am for funds going to education and voted yes to school millages in the past. I am not for thoughtless spending. Even though you say there is no pork in this bond, I think I pointed out just a few items above that there is. This school board, as I just stated, has shown over and over that you want shiny new things like a new administration office, gyms versus STEM, and will give us, taxpayers, a little tax savings now, but ultimately will cost us. Taxpayers millions in the end and put us forever in debt. I'll end with this. Quote, children do what feels good, adults make a plan and execute it. To me, you are children putting this bond up because you want nice, new, shiny things when these are not needs.
Thank you. And that was the only participant this evening. So we will turn to recap and next steps.
Yes, I will be following up with the senator's office to figure out the change in timeline.
Thank you, Heidi. And closing comments. It's weird to start over here. Andrea.
Sorry. Let's see, it's exciting to have the staff all back in, opening day. Big shout out to Julie and Mark for all their coordination of getting that going, and the messages that Heidi delivered. It was great, and the whole cabinet plus Sarah, it was nice. It felt like a really good vibe to get us going. So happy first school day and next week.
Thank you, Andrea. Adam.
Yep, big shout out and congratulations to Amy, Alexis, and Misty. Very excited to have them joining us as Dragons. Echo the shout out to Julie and Mark and also Chris O'Mara. They did a phenomenal job with all the behind the scenes stuff and really, made it easy for all of us to execute that game plan. So a big shout out to them. We appreciate them and very excited for Tuesday and ready to kickstart the 25-26 school year.
Thank you. Drew.
Yep, I echo the thanks and appreciation. It is no small feat to get opening day off the ground, and then especially when Mark and Julie have to wrangle us, who, at least for Adam and I, were like big kids. So, a big thank you to them. And yeah, just super excited for Tuesday. Cannot wait to see the kids and the excitement and get this year off to a great start.
Heidi.
Yes, I would like to thank the township as we are in their facilities. This is great. We are partnering with them. Also to point out, we do have something on order that will be coming when we have our meetings that will, show LOCS. So that is yet to come, but thank you to the township. As well, it's already been stated, but there has been so much work going on for this week to prepare for our students for next week. So a great thank you to all of our staff for all of their work this week. And opening day was great. Lots of energy. And so we're ready for next week. So Tuesday, here we come.
Thank you. And to keep my newfound tradition going, I'm switching up the order. So Birgit, you're going to start with closing comments tonight.
All right, well, I appreciate what everyone said, and I'm just want to wish everyone a happy new school year.
Thank you. Scott?
Welcome to the new staff. Thank you for making the Space for Phases awesome. Again, very impressive. And very impressed with the opening day. I'm glad that we are involved in that and get to witness the excitement and basically what this whole thing is about, right? So it was awesome. Thank you.
Jake?
I want to say my deepest condolences to the family of Sarah Campbell and all her friends and family, her fiance, everybody who loved her. It's a great loss to have, such a young, shining star pass so soon.
Thank you, Jake. Jeff?
I just want to say I really enjoyed opening day. It's awesome to have the whole staff together, and it's the one time of year when they can all be there. I really appreciated the cabinet presentations and the staff getting a chance to know you and connect the dots between the two departments, or between the multiple departments, how they work together and keep the ship running in the right direction. I also want to express my appreciation to our partnerships with the township, the library, police, fire, parks and rec. It's really nice to see so much connection between all these entities. I'm really proud to live in a community where there's so much pride in being a dragon. We're all on that team. And finally, I want to wish students, staff, and families a great start to the year. I know the teachers are extremely tired this week. This is one of the hardest weeks of the year. Your brain is going in all these different directions. So I hope they have a great start and we have a really nice year ahead. Thank you.
Susan?
Yes, I'd like to echo everything everyone said. Really trying to think to add to that. I hope everyone had a wonderful summer. It's always amazing how fast the summer actually goes, but I'm super excited for next week. Very disappointed that I couldn't join yesterday's kickoff, but I've heard wonderful things from my colleagues. I'm sure you guys did a great job, and I appreciate all your hard work to start our teachers off on the right foot. Good luck next Tuesday for everyone starting, and we'll see you in a few weeks. And go Dragons.
Thank you. Heather?
Awesome, yes. Yes to everything to my right, yes to everything to my left. Super excited, feel some good momentum. It was really nice to see the space that was created for the Phases program, and just excited to see and hear more about the updates in the special education department. I think that's going to be really great. Thank you, Noah, for coming to speak to us tonight. And go Dragons, let's go. Here we go. Here goes nothing.
Right. Of course, ditto. I would just like to say, I know Sarah's only been here a very short time, but the energy that she is bringing is phenomenal. And just the messaging she sent yesterday, the applause was wonderful, right? And I think, everything comes from the top, right? So the culture in Lake Orion and just her enthusiasm and energy, I can't wait to see it all come together. So Thank you all. Enjoy your last weekend before Tuesday, and with that, we are adjourned.